obviously a big test for you guys, the #1 team
Yep.
in Canada. How difficult is it to play a team like that?
I don't know if it's difficult. I loved our first period. Wanted more of our first period. You know what? We again. You got the power play. We got a shorthanded goal against. We've tried, I think, every player at the top of the power play on our team. So, we're at the point now where, what do you do? But again, we need tracking, that you can't let a shorthanded goal up. So, that does kill momentum for you. And then they got a special teams one-timer. And then again, just some mistakes off the rush. We got to, again, continue to develop our players, continue to show up to practice and improve them, or continue to support the growth in them. We had some young mistakes. We had some, I guess, outskilled elements. You're looking at that decor on the other side. It's American Hockey League NHL decor.
Right.
Yeah. Like, you call a spade a spade.
Right.
They're elite. They're first round NHL picks, multiple. They all could be in the American Hockey League right now.
Yeah. So yeah.
So that's what really, if you look at what you're playing against and what the stimulus is. Hey, I always look at it from a positive perspective. I love the first period. Loved the first period. I thought we played defensive, and then again, detailed, and then again we get away from it. We turn pucks over. Again, make young, unstructured mistakes, and they'll make you pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, sports can be, momentum one way, momentum the other way.
Yeah.
You've lost 6 in a row now. How do you make sure guys don't get down on themselves and start thinking about things like that?
Honestly, for me, it's a daily investment. It's a reset every day. If you live life based on what happened 5 years ago, you live life based on what happened 2 years ago, you're not going to live life. I always say in sports, you need a short memory in the face of success and failure. And a lot of times more so failure, but you need that short memory because you know what, it's what you do that day, it's not what you did yesterday.
Absolutely, yeah. One thing, players that want to aspire to be playing the NHL or playing the American League, like you said, win a Memorial Cup, they can see how good they have to be when you see a team like this. Can that give them a kind of an eye-opening experience where it's like, this is how good we have to be where we want to get?
You know what, they've got players that have been drafted in certain situations. They've had players that have had different experiences, NHL camps. They've earn certain elements that some of our players haven't yet. So, yeah, I guess it is a stimulus that, shows them where they maybe want to be and what it takes to get there.
In one way, it's a yardstick where you are right now compared to the #1 team in Canada.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if I take the positives, I loved our first period. I thought we played structured. I thought we played together. And then again, we just cannot allow some of those unstructured elements. We can't do it to ourselves. Shorthanded goal against. Getting beat off the rush, multiple occasions. Some mistakes away from the play that result in outnumbered rushes. Again, it's back to teaching. Back to investing.
How much of a blow was that no goal?
Well, it wasn't a goal. So, for me, again, you move on. You're right. You look at the next shift. You look at creating your next break. For me to sit there and say, we lost momentum from a no goal, it wasn't a goal. So, yeah.
How do you keep your Malenko spirits up? Because obviously, the team in front of him maybe, let him down on a few of those goals tonight, and making sure that his confidence is still high, even though it was 5-0 on the score sheet.
You know what? Ryan Lunzig, our goalie coach, does a great job with our goaltenders. He does a great job, creating that mindset. Again, a reset for him. You can only worry about what you can control. Maybe that's not some of the elements or mistakes in front of you or in front of him. So again, like I said, Ryan Lunzig does a fantastic job. He'll have him reset and ready to go here for his next start.
as far as what they were doing out there. And you said the first period was good, but then when you get into the second and the third period, and it seemed like they had an easier time sort of getting into the middle of the ice there, into those grade A scoring chances. So what do you guys have to do defensively to really lock down and really, play a good style against a team like that when they could just come in waves?
Yeah, you got to play inside out. You got to take care of that slot, that house. We've got to come back and stop. We've got to get in shooting lanes. We've got to battle. Again, you get back to the drawing board. We did implement. We were man on man, so we did implement a box and one system probably about a week ago. So there are going to be some holes in that for the infancy stages of change. So we expect and know that we'll refine that. There were some real positives within that box and one that we played, and again, just constantly teaching. Get back to the drawing board. We got a game here in 2 days, which is nice. It's a quick turnaround. So again, we got to look at earning that positive feeling.
And lastly, you got your captain back in the lineup after being out with an illness this last weekend, and you've got basically your full lineup here. I know Robert's going to be leaving for the USA CHL Prospect Challenge, but with this lineup and this team really being the group that you're going to have going forward, what does it say to knowing that these are going to be the guys in that room and they have to figure this out and get out of this funk?
Yeah, they're all high character individuals. They're all high functioning people and players. So we'll be fine. We'll find a way. And again, we will move on past this. And we got a big game against Barrie. We got 47 games left in the year, which is a lot of games. Yep. So there'll be a lot of different talks that you and I will have over the next while, and hopefully, and I know will be a lot more positive than they will be negative. So
thanks, Coach.
Yeah, no worries.